Okay. Good morning, good man. Mm, so, welcome to another amazing day. So, let's look at how to break down the market, right, from the 15 minutes time frame. Well, first of all, this is the daily. Okay, one thing to always know is that um this was yesterday. Yeah, I was able to get on a buy at this very low because um just observe, right? Every day, if you look at the daily candle, if you look at the daily candle, it always happens most of the time. Look at these highs, right? The high and low of each day. The market tries to sweep each high, right? So if it sweeps the high, expect it to come back in. If it sweeps the low, expect another pullback, right? So it did this yesterday. This was on Tuesday, right? This one was on Monday. It swept the low, then bought, right? Then this was for yesterday, right? It swept the low. Then, of course, I took advantage of the smoke. Though my TP, it was more like a swing trade, right? I was looking at market coming up a little bit more, right? But as you can see, yesterday, it came in, swept to the high, then sold, right? So if I was to take this trade yesterday morning, not yesterday, like this morning, yeah, I'd actually taken this sell and I'll go down to 15 minutes now to see the exact point it sold and what the decision is left to do. Now what I'm expecting here is that I I low key expect this market to still push up a little bit. To this point it came back to is a good reversal point anyway. If I think maybe I think from this point should be from this point if I got it right. Yeah, from this. I know I actually drew, but let me go back to 4 minutes and actually get the exact swing, right? Again, what was this? I'll go to 4 minutes and get the exact swing. Okay, so this is a swing on 2 minutes here. This is a swing. It's so clear for me. We have this low, then we have this low key high. Then if you have to look at it properly, we have a very strong high here. Well, let's see from this point down here. No, this is not it. Let's say from 0. Okay, yeah, that's a little bit. From this point, yeah, have a clear swing from here down. And low key, it has not actually gotten to the point I want it to get. I want to get to 268, and it's not yet there. So what I think might happen here is that um this is vital. It might, right, straight up buy into this area. Understand? Buy into this area, then drop to this purple gap here. The market is bearish normally. So what you're taking advantage of here is pullbacks. And based on the fact that we are taking pullbacks, right, we have to be meticulous in our entry because we are trading against the general trend, right? This is a downtrend, like from the daily. Market has been selling since God knows how long, right? So what we are always doing is look at it here. So you see how clear it is. And one of the reasons why I took the buy I took down here. Okay, I always be marking it out right from time, right? So the market started selling from, of course, from January, right? From last year, from December, from in fact last year, market bought aggressively from August. It was aggressively buying up until December. This whole war shit started, right? So it's been giving strong high, strong low on the daily time frame. So I've been marking this shit out. So I mark out the low, wait for the market, right? You understand? You see, for every low, the market will do a pullback, then sweep it. All right. Do another pullback, give us a new high, then sweep it. So this time around, though I still have a low, I expect the market to get to anyway, this area. But for the meantime, this pullback was necessary because it just broke a very strong low on the daily time frame. Right. So and if you look at it, if I'm to do this full swing now, right, the market is nowhere near it is going to do a pullback. Understand? It's nowhere near. This is if it's going to pull back from this point, it still needs to buy to 4 5. All right. At least to uh, give a full pullback. If you had to use the former swing, just like this very one here now, this is the zone, the 50% zone. I was able to catch this sell, one of those days. But now look at this. That's why I always try to prepare ahead of time, right? So look at this from this high to this low. And see, it broke the 50%, went very close to 61.8%, and started selling from there. And so a full pullback is necessary, right? So that's what I'm saying. This guy, it might not have given us the lowest points. So I still say that it might still drop here, but for the full pullback to now happen, right? So we are in no rush. All we need now, in fact, for us to know that, okay, uh, the pullback has started is, first of all, of course, started seeing a high has been broken like the previous day high. If you look at this, look at the former chart. I use all of these things to judge, right? All right. So you can see this is the swing, more like what happened here as well. Market started giving us a confirmed break of structure. So we've not seen any break of structure here yet, right? But one thing we know is that he came to respect an FVG. So this is the daily time frame FVG. This is the daily time frame FVG. And it's expected to respect it. This is the daily time frame FVG. It came tapped in and it's dropping, right? So now we are done with this. Yeah, let us now go and determine the bias for the day. Now we've known that, okay, yeah, this market is giving some bearish movement based on this particular move. So if it's going to drop, where is it going to drop to? If it's going to buy, where is it going to buy to? So let's go to um back to this spot. All right. This is how many minutes time frame? This is 15 minutes time frame. Okay, no. Okay, this is 4 hours, and this is just today. Right. This is where today started. It was yesterday. Right. This is yesterday's low. This is yesterday's high. Right. And it was already broken yesterday high. So it's expected to drop. Right. And since high was broken, since I'm looking at this chart here, first of all, this market has given me a pattern for a buy movement. Whenever I see this, I think I've talked about this pattern before. Right. When I see a low, then the market pulls back and give me a higher low. Even without breaking a high, I see this as an entry point. All I need is for the last swing to be broken. And the last swing I can see here is this actually, right? This is 4 hours time frame. If I draw it, you're gonna see that it got broken. Now, why I'm considering this as a swing is that on the global time frame, you're gonna see that it makes sense, right? So it got broken, right? So what I'm expecting here now is for this market to, there's an FVG down here on this 4 minutes, 4 hours time frame. And though on this particular chart, I don't draw FVGs, I just use purely support and resistance here, but let me show you something. So there's an FVG down here at 4171, right? Then we also have a very large one down here. Of course, this is like an inverse FVG anyway. So this is also a very strong point. So my 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 bias basically right now, maybe for today, is that this guy is gonna drop. If not here, so this area is very strong, so we might tap into this area. And also, I always plot, I always plot this all day, every day, right? So now look at this. Now this is very, very, very interesting. For you to, in fact, if I'm interested in taking any buy in this very market here, I will expect it to break 4149. So taking a buy here is even premature, right? So as you can see, our Fibonacci golden zone fell under or came very close to this FVG down here. So if I'm looking for just buys, right, I patiently set a buy limit at this price for 130 and wait. You get, I set a buy limit at for 130 and wait. So let me just mark out that point. So later we'll break it down to see exactly for 130. Let me just mark it out. So you are done now. We've used the 4 hours to get our bias, right? We've used the 4 days to get our bias. I can still mark out this full zone. I'm not sure there's any need for that. Let me just keep it. There's no need, basically. There's no need. The reason why is because I don't do zone mark out here. Understand? I have each of these tabs are for different kind of analysis, right? But for different kind of analysis. This is 6 a.m. I use this particular one for my 6 a.m. analysis, right? And it's purely support and resistance. That's what I use for my 6 a.m. analysis. So, but I still want to show you how I look at the market, right? What to expect and how to be. In fact, I'll tell you um some of the piece of my, I think I'll leave this thing this way, right? Then go down to um for 15 minutes. So this is what we have on 15 minutes, right? Um, look at the point I told you the market switched, right? So you can see how interesting this very point is here. The market was trending downwards, then up until, in fact, if you break it down to a lower time frame, it actually broke it here, then gave a high. Of course, this is a very good entry to continue taking your buy, and this happened around 7 yesterday. All right, so this is like a clear pullback. Tap it to this point, push, right? So from this point till the market closed yesterday, okay, till 8:15, till 8:30, 70 points, 70 bloody points. Now the reason, another reason why this market pumped like this was to Trump dropped a tweet, yeah, that he's no longer interested in attacking Iran. That's why the market pumped aggressively, right? So that's it about it. So right now, we're on the 15 minutes time frame. The 15 minutes time frame, if I'm looking at this here, what I'm seeing here is head and shoulder. What I mean by head and shoulder is that this is a clear signal for a sell, right? I see a low, I see a high, I see a lower, another low. Head and shoulder is simply, head and shoulder is simply head, sorry, shoulder, head, and the last shoulder. So this is simply the pattern. Pull back. In fact, this is actually the good entry. Then for this guy to now break this one, and I'll pull back, then tack into this area. Understand? That's what I'm looking at to happen here. Then of course, a major buy from here back. A major buy from here back to this zone. Of course, breaking it and pushing further to 268 I was targeting. Right. So now we've cleared that out of the way. Let us now break this thing down now to get our precise entries against C-states. So we've already determined that, okay, you're expecting a bearish move, right? Though it is quite bullish on this time frame. Though the market is quite bullish on this time frame, you can see this is like a clear bullish move. But they say a bullish move is bullish up until a low is broken. I can count this point as a low, right? The market pushed up, did a pullback, yeah, gave a high, right? Did another pullback, gave a lower high. Just like what I showed you on the 4 hours time frame, right? Straight from there. Just like what I showed you on the 4 hours time frame here. I think whenever I see something like this, is a low, a higher low. That's what we are seeing here now. A high, a lower high, right? I tell you, whenever I see this on any time frame, I go all in, right? At least if I've seen this, I would have shot for this point basically because I not even if I saw it this morning anyway, but I didn't take it. Immediately it was 2. This is 2 a.m. Or is that 2 o'clock? Yeah, this candle is 2 a.m. candle, right? So, I have times I trade. In fact, I want to start avoiding early morning trades because they are good, right? But sometimes I don't always have the patience to wait till 2 a.m. or 1:30. So the killer moment started by 1 o'clock, right? So this move, did this sweep. So this sweep is like your confirmed entry. My 115. Ride it up until this very low. You can ride it up until this point and you're good. In fact, if you had to check the number of points from this point to this 37 points, like this is more than enough money, right? So now we've gotten it. So let me just draw up some support and resistance right now. We have good support here, resistance. We have can call this a very good support too. Can call this a nice resistance too, right? Can call this a low-key support as well. I can call this area under resistance. Then of course we have this mark. This is the mark. Which mark is this? Okay, this is the I don't forget which mark is this. Mm, okay, yeah, we did this on the I know it's an important zone anyway, so I think I'll just leave it. Rather, I'll just adjust it to This is what's it called? Our FVG. Okay, our FVG. Our Fibonacci rather. So I think I'm done with it. So the next important low we have is this low here, right? So the rule is simple. Right? First of all, remember this is a target point, and know that all of these zones, because they always do what they're supposed to do. From a support zone, the market is supposed to buy off a support zone. If it's close to a resistance, it's supposed to sell, right? So let us see what this guy is ready to do, right? So the real deal is by 6:30. In fact, the entry is after the 6:30. That's by 6:45. Once the 6:30 candle is over, right? If it's close to a resistance, I will just sell. First of all, my bias is sell, right? But I wouldn't mind a short-term buy for 15 points, 10 points. With 0.01, 10 points, that's $10. 15 is $15. All right. So that's it. Right. So now, but how do you now? You are done with systems. I think maybe from next week, I'll give a proper approach on how to apply all of risk management is very important, and all this approach. I will always say, yeah, if you trade proper counts, right? Um, I'm looking for something. Just a moment, please. Yeah. So I always say, if you trade, I always say, yeah, if you trade proper counts, they are really gonna help you in your discipline because if you can be so disciplined to pass the first phase, the second phase, get funded, get a payout, that's a whole lot of discipline, right? So if you apply the same approach you use on your proper account and you're life funded, you're gonna remain profitable if you know what you're doing. That's the essence, if you know what you're doing. But if you want to develop that discipline culture, proper accounts are really gonna help you. That's why not everyone actually survive in that space. Yeah, because it takes a whole lot, right? But if you're able to conquer yourself, to know what you're doing, to easily pass the evaluation stage, get funded, stay funded, get your first payout, second payout, and all that. Just all you need to do is to replicate whatever you're doing on your proper account on your live. That's the anytime you decide to go live, all right? So this will help, and it also help you. The most important thing there is that you don't chase too much. You can see 2, 3, 4, 5% is good for you in a month, right? You're not here to flip. You're not there to do whatever. Even if you decide to flip, right? With proper risk management, you can do that without really, really exposing yourself. It's about taking calculated risk. That's just what it is, right? So this is 6:30 is underway now. So expect a very strong pump, but don't be pushed by that very pump. Yeah. So while we not rush, the market is at a support zone, right? So let me see what 6:30 will do now. Let's see. So what I expect it to do, yeah, is to do if I'm to take a sell here now, it to be quite it will be quite it will be quite because I want this low to be broken. Yeah, exactly. It's doing what I wanted to do. I want this low to be broken. If this low is broken, I'll need a slight pullback. In fact, funny enough, I can go down to a lower time frame to see if it's clear. Okay, on this lower time frame, you are seeing that the sell is actually valid right now. I want it to break this low. If it breaks this low, close below this low, then I know the sell is valid. But then is a confirmation after 15 minutes candle, and we are good. In fact, let me see. I can't wait. I might decide to jump in here. Let me see. From this point to this point, targeting this. I don't want to rush regardless. That's 16 point. There's no need. Let me just watch it. So I want it to break this low right here, right? Break this low. If you want to sell, this will give me a confirmation for a sell. If it doesn't break this low, then it's at a support. I can easily buy to this resistance, right? So, but then I'll simply wait. There's no how the market is giving me a sell signal, like a downward trend on these 5 minutes. Right? But in the same way, there's no need to rush. That's why I said after the 15 minutes candle, then you tap in. Now this would let's go down to 30 minutes is where the main thing happens. Right? This is 30 minutes candle, right? Now, what am I seeing here? I'm seeing series of the sell is strong. In fact, there's an FVG above here, right? So low key, I might decide to just wait for this market right here. If I'm looking for a sell, I'll wait for it right here. After the 15 minutes candle, if it breaks below this point I was looking at, it comes back here and I sell to this lowest point, right? No, and I sell to I think we have a lower point instead here. So you can see that it's already giving us the move we want. So so we have on the 15 minutes, we are waiting for something. Yeah, so this low is already broken. So our sell is confirmed. So I patiently wait until 6:45, then take my decision, right? So that's just it about it. Sometimes also I can have a very strong instinct of what the market will do, and I'll just go hopping. All right. So if I was here earlier, this is simply, if I was here earlier, I would have just jumped on this sell straight up from this very point to this will be my TP, 16 points, and I'm done, right? But sometimes you just have to wait for your confirmation, like wait for your confirmation. All right. So that's it about it for this morning, right? And I hope and I believe you actually understand the breakdown, right? Hope you got the breakdown. You can see how we tore down this market from the highest point to the lowest point, right? So that's just it, right? I feel like I've missed this move, but no, we let you run. So it has broken this low, so I can now expect it to. This is a very good entry point, right? I have this. I have 130 as my target point, so I can expect it to do a nice pullback or whatever it gives me, right? It mustn't tap into this area. This is already it's already created a new FVG, right? So it will sell to this point, give me an FVG, then of course I will drop to 146 or 141 dead. That'll be mine, right? That'll be mine to take. So that's just it about it. So dropping this like lots of move anyway. This thing. Like 48 points is too much. Just aim for 20 points. Whenever I trade this, I just aim for 20 points max, and I'm good, right? So that's just it. So I personally watch it and see what it does by 6:45, and I'll now make my decision, right? So that's it for this family. I hope you got value. Yep, I hope you got value. So really thanking aggressively. So it needs to respect this FVG, pull back into an IBM. You need to respect this FVG. We saw it on the 4 hours time frame, so it's very, very strong. So now it's either once it comes here, I'll take a buy instead, right? Write it into the FVG I want, or once it comes here, I wait for another retest, then continue my sell, right? So and if it also breaks this low on this 30 minutes time frame, that's another confirmation that this market is done. So I'll just once it does that, I'll take a sell, right? And target this other FVG here. Target is low, 4131, and that's it. It's gonna be loss of points anyway, but that's it. So you can still enter and target just 20 points, or you can enter and target this. If you enter wherever this thing happens, it's like this giving you like roughly 50 points. And that's too much. So that's it about that. So till more till next week. It's been an amazing week actually. So cheers, good man. Hope you go value.
No feedback. All right. So, cheers. Amazing, 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 amazing. All right, all right, all right.